Hey guys, let me just make an adjustment here or two. I don't generally do live streams, so we'll see how this goes. I'm testing out a new cell tower that has just been built. I could almost see it like from where I'm standing. So I got a new carrier and just basically doing a live stream test. So it's after 5 o'clock. I think it's almost 5:30 now, which is a little bit late to be going into the beehives. But I've got to give them I've got to give 4 colonies their last treatments of Oxytet and icing sugar mix. So we're going to do that. So I may not talk too much. I think I might just, well, who knows? Sometimes I talk a lot. So there you go. We'll see how much talking I do, but I got to do more working today than anything. So this is the stuff that we feed them in the spring and in the fall. And this is an antibiotic. Oh, it's actually the wrong. This stuff is a little bit dried out, so I'm gonna give them some fresh. You need a prescription for this stuff. But this keeps the bees, their immune system up for something called American foulbrood, which is a very bad disease and very transmittable. And this time of the year, when there's a bit of robbing going on, and you know, there's different, I have neighbors who have bees. So if one colony, you know, even a couple miles from here has it, then chances are my colony will certainly be at risk for it. And I'm running 8 colonies right now. So we'll just get this mixed up. And I'm only treating, I think I've got 4 colonies left. And you do 3 treatments of this, usually about every 5 days apart. 6, 7. And this will be their second last treatment for the fall, before they go to bed for the winter. Be doing one last treatment for mites with an oxalic acid dribble. So fall's a busy time for beekeepers. Okay, I think I'll do one last mix of this. That a scoop. So I don't know whereabouts you're at, but this neck of the woods, the weather has just been like really beautiful. Perfect weather in the low 20s. Had some rain for a few days earlier this week. But the temperatures have dipped down, so you know, nights we're going to be seeing it go down to close to 10 this week. So I'm pretty much done. I think I'm finished with the sugar water feeding. In a second, when I get into those hives, 3, I won't lose count. I'm going to check their weights very scientifically by lifting the back of the colonies and seeing, is that 7 or was that? That's 7 there. I think 1 extra scoop of sugar of icing sugar isn't gonna. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, so I'll go in there and I'll lift the backs of the colonies and just see, just make sure that I like them to feel like concrete. I need at least 70 pounds, 60, 70 pounds of honey, more if they can cram it in there. and it's a little late to feed sugar water. So I probably have about 40-50 pounds of Geron comb that I can feed back to them. So that's likely what I'll be doing tomorrow, is putting that out, and we'll see. If their weights are good, then don't have to worry about it. Thanks for tuning in, if anyone's watching. Probably nobody. My channel is not a famous beekeeper, that's for sure. Infamous, maybe. I've been doing this for 14 seasons now. It's just crazy to think about. I was telling a friend not too long ago that, you know, I've been beekeeping hasn't gotten easier over the last decade and a half. I'll just say that. Climate change has just, you know, thrown a monkey wrench, huge monkey wrench into the whole thing. Costs have gone up, and it's harder and harder to get your bees to survive the winters, and it's really heartbreaking to do, you know, all of this work in the fall and prepping them and doing everything you can to the best of your ability, and then finding out that they didn't make it through the winter, you know, again. So I sort of questioned it in the last, the last couple of years. Honestly, I was thinking, what the hell am I doing? But I gotta say, this summer, it wasn't a perfect summer, but it wasn't a terrible summer. I harvested close to 300 pounds of honey this year. And I really enjoyed it. I was harvesting the honey in late August, early September, which is usually a little, you know, there's a lot of work, it's a little stressful. You got bees that are very protective and sometimes, you know, pretty pissy and trying to move you out of their space. I don't blame them. And it didn't go perfectly, but it was so satisfying when I was done at the end of that day. You know, even getting stung a couple times. And my experience came into play. I had a couple of, you know, sort of unique issues with some colonies, a couple of colonies. And I kind of knew the answer before I even went into the hive to verify it. So I do enjoy doing this, I really do. It's bees are just cool. I'm honestly learning more all the time. Okay, I am ready to go into those hives. I feel like with a live stream, I'm supposed to be blabbing all the time. Anyway, let me get my smoker, find that, and we'll get cruising here. Now I'm just popping the lids so I don't really have to fully suit up, but I've been stung enough times this year that I'm got all the bee stings I need for my liking. Now I had a couple bees inside my veil about a month ago when I was in there. This, I need a new bee suit. I've got a few tears in it, which isn't helpful. Okay, let's go give these bees some very delicious sugar water, icing sugar mix. I forgot to put my glasses on. And while I'm down there, I'll just show you my setup for feeding them sugar water, or at least what I did last weekend anyways. Okay, ladies and gents, let's go play with some bees. Oh, let's not forget our medication. A lot more leaves on the ground this weekend. So this is my setup for feeding the bees. I shouldn't say setup. Again, this is just what I did last weekend. So this is loaded with, at the top box I've got wet cappings. Probably not wet any longer. And then I've got bags of sugar water distributed through those boxes. Spread out a little bit through them so that they don't fight over it too much. But they are in Ziploc bags. My plan was to actually put them inside the colonies. And it was just too late in the day by the time that I got it all finished and was ready to do that. So just put it out for them to feed on their own. Okay. This first colony here has already been treated 3 times, so I've just got these last 4 to do. So this will go pretty quickly here. Put you guys down. And I can see already that this is definitely a test and not a live stream because I'm live streaming, but there's nobody watching. So you guys don't know what you're missing. So very interesting to have an actual strong cell signal up here. It's been 17 years up here, and I've barely, I gotta stand on my toes and do anything I can to get a good signal. Oh, did you go out all right? And so anyways, that's part of this test, is just to see what I can and can't do up here. Oh, you bugger. This thing doesn't want to light anymore. Okay, excuse me, ladies. Excuse me. Coming in to have some fun. Oh, they really got that glued down. So in the fall, what the bees do is they produce a lot of propolis. And propolis, I'll show you what it is. It's this stuff here that they basically, it's like a resin, and they use it to glue everything really tight. So basically just like us doing foam caulking everywhere in our house. Excuse the wire coming out of my pocket here. That's battery for my cell phone. Look at these ladies, just calm as anything. It's just the way I like to see them. Good girls. And if you're watching and you're not a beekeeper, the reason why I call them ladies all the time and girls, they do have males, obviously. But the drones don't actually have any purpose inside the colony. They have one purpose only in life, and that's to mate with queens from other colonies. So most of them should be kicked out by now. I'm not seeing any on the top here, and I'm not surprised. But the bees will, the ladies, worker bees, will kick them all out in the fall, mid-fall, late fall, to protect their resources. I didn't do a great job of spreading this evenly. There we go. That's all they get. There you go. Enjoy that, ladies. Look at all those nice bees there. Very calm. That's the way I like to see them. I didn't need to put on my veil, or probably didn't even need to smoke them. Good girls. Okay, ladies, we'll see you probably in a week or two. We come in and give you your last mite treatment before you go to bed for the winter. Do this one next here. Still nobody watching. Geez, what if I had an emergency here? Know when I'm calling for help and nobody's watching me. Okay, this is an interesting colony. I was mentioning earlier that I was having some issues. Not everything went perfectly, and this was an example of this. All of these other ones you'll see are single boxes, and somehow the queen had got above the queen excluder and moved herself up into honey supers, and I didn't discover this until like mid-August, early August maybe. So these two supers, and actually I had a third on there as well, because I thought, geez, they're so busy. So I had three supers full of broods and almost nothing down in here. So I removed the one box, pushed them down into two, and I'm still undecided whether I'm going to leave them with this box. It really depends on what they've done down there. So I'm going to just give it again an unscientific weight test in a second here, see how heavy it feels. But I've been feeding this one a little bit more. I think they'll be okay, even if this is an emptier box for the winter. You know, the queen likes to move up, so I know that these are pretty much full with honey now. Anyways, things you learn. I kind of I mean, as soon as I popped the lid, I realized it's like, oh my god, brood. So I knew what happened. I wasn't happy about it, but it was interesting. It's always interesting. Something going on in the colonies. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna lift the back of that. Oh my god, see that's really heavy. So again, even if they don't have those, even if the bees don't have the bottom box filled, I'm pretty confident they'll have enough. Okay, actually they're... Yeah, you can see here I've still got only 9 frames in there because this was a honey super. Just means I got to be a little more careful in dishing out my icing sugar mix here. So 9 frames in a super, in a honey super is ideal. 9 frames in a super that's also acting like, not also, but is a brew box is not ideal, but sometimes you just got to roll with what the bees are doing. Look at all that propolis, big chunks of it. I do collect propolis. I don't like to steal it from the bees if they're using it, but they've got their top entrance plugged up with propolis now. But I do use it in some products that I make. I don't do a lot of it, but I make some hand creams and body lotions and stuff, and I always make sure that I've got propolis in there with it because it's very, very healthy stuff. It's supposed to have some amazing healing properties to it. Okay, you are done, ladies. How fast that's going. And the last one, oh, I only talked about two. Just getting ahead of myself here. Last 2. Big bunch of them on the top there. Boy, it's funny, they're really pouring the comb in there. Look at that. Sometimes they build comb on the top, you know, on the bottom of the top of the air cover, if that makes sense. The bottom of the air cover. But, wow. So here's one colony that I am not going to have to feed anymore, because they've run out of room and they're making comb wherever they can make it. I guarantee that is full of honey. So that's exactly what we want to see. Beautiful. Good job, ladies. What a season. I'll take a couple more like this here if I can get them. It's not quite as heavy, but it's getting there. Lots of propolis gluing this one down as well. And there we be. And it's as easy as that. So, again, this is more or less a test, a live stream, and see how the video works, see how much data I used, and all that good stuff. But if you did join along and you made it this far, awesome. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. That's it. That's it for today. I'm going to consider. I brought up a couple of Formic Pro pads, Mite-Away quick strips for the. They're not called Mite-Away quick strips anymore, but basically the Formic Pro pads for mite treatment on my 2 colonies near the cabin. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to use it. For sure, I'm going to do a sugar dribble treatment within the next couple of weeks, but we'll see. Those 2 colonies were nuked, so they've only had 1 treatment this year at about late July. Well, in early spring and then late July. So I know they're due. Well, we'll see. We'll do. We'll throw a sticky board underneath one of the colonies and see how many mites we got in the last couple days. Okay, looks like 1 person's watching. Awesome. Hello to you, human being. Heading out from the bee yard. Thanks for watching, and go bees.